Welcome to Copeland. I'm Dan. That sound you're hearing is my ram pump, pumping water uphill to my chicken yard. Now, this is my most valuable purpose for having a creek, is that ram pump. But there's other reasons why you might want to have a creek as well. Hydroelectric is a great one. If you've got enough flow, you can put a hydroelectric generator and generate electricity 24/7. Other uses for a creek, for livestock. Have your livestock drinking from a creek. Don't have to carry out water in the middle of winter. It also attracts deer and other animals you might want to hunt. You can look around. It's just a fantastic hunting area. It's also just beautiful to be back here. It's cool in the summer. It's relaxing. It's a nice place to just collect your thoughts and think about nature and think about homesteading and observe what's going on. If the creek's big enough, there are probably fish in there. And if it's not big enough and you can pump water uphill, you can create a farm pond and raise your fish in there. Creeks are just great for kids, animals who want to play in the creek, cool down. Maybe your kids like swimming, or you've got some boys or some girls who just like playing in the creek, building dams, building forts. They're out in the woods. Probably the most useful old school purpose for a creek is drinking water. So if you filter this and boil it, you can clean the water and drink from it, or washing clothes. Certainly you have to be careful if you're washing clothes, but you can at least use the water from the creek to wash clothes if you don't wash it directly in the creek itself. So many uses for a creek. I think if you're looking for a piece of land, a creek is probably going to be one of my top desires for land. And you can get around not having a creek if you've got a well and if you collect rainwater, but having so many options, especially combined with a ram pump. In order to have the ram pump, you need to have some elevation drop. So if your creek is completely flat, or you've only got a foot of drop throughout your entire property, that's going to be tough. But if you've got a couple feet of drop, like at least 3 to 6 feet of drop, you can get a ram pump and you can pump that water uphill. There are government programs, depending on where you're at in the country, where if you have livestock and the livestock can drink from the creek, the government will actually pay for fencing to keep them out of the creek, and will also pay for a well. So you might get a free well and fencing if you like, in order to keep your livestock out of the creek. Creeks are incredibly valuable. I think it'd be one of my top selection criteria if I was choosing a new piece of land. It's hard to put a value on it exactly of how important it is, but certainly if there's a property with a creek and it's got some elevation drop and it's got good flow all year round, that to me is a super viable homesteading property. Granted, there's got to be other things that need to come in place, but that is a huge, huge deal, because you want to be able to water your gardens, your livestock, your orchards. So many things a creek can be useful for. I'm posting videos on homesteading and off-grid living every single day over at 2ac3.com/Copeland. Come check us out.